hugger. Okay, I am going to get to talk with you guys about something that if you've seen any of my trainings on YouTube, or if you know me or know my style of coaching, you know that I have built a Superstar Diamond 2 team with all of the unsexy things. I'm basic, I'm simple, I'm not complicated, and I'm not fancy. So I know that while people are struggling, and while sometimes you feel like, I don't know how to do this anymore, I've lost it, I don't have it anymore, people aren't responding, what got you here actually will get you wherever you want to go, as long as you keep doing the stuff, okay? So today I'm going to talk about letting it flow and how to not only continue momentum in your business, but recreate momentum. If you're feeling like you're in a slump or your business isn't where you want it to be, just some ideas on how to get it back going, okay? So coaching really is like riding a bike. I really thought about stealing one of the team building things and riding out, but I already biffed once yesterday, so didn't want to make it number 2. But we have activities in our business that keep us moving, that build balance, and that as long as we're doing those things, we'll continue moving, and we'll continue going, and we'll continue progressing. But as soon as we stop, and as soon as we take on other responsibilities and forget this stuff, that's when our business starts to take a downward spiral, okay? You can't control the winds, but you can adjust the sails. We all know that things have changed over the past couple years. We went digital, volume dipped, we lost some products, we went international. All of these things have come into our business, and a big thing that we've been talking about all weekend is being innovative and really learning how to evolve as people and as leaders and as CEOs of our businesses. But as we innovate and as we have new ideas and as we use our passions and our creativity in our business, we still have to do certain fundamental things that move us forward. And those are the things that are 100% duplicatable to new coaches and help them gain momentum too. So I experienced kind of a shift in my business with the All Access. I had to figure out how I wanted to run my challenge groups. I had to figure out how I wanted to talk about it. I had to figure out just how I wanted to do things moving forward. And what I was doing for the first 3 years, so I've been coaching for 4 years now, and what I was doing for the first 3 years started not to work as well as it had been working before. And so I'm like, shoot, like, what's wrong with me? Like, I had that second of, why is this not working anymore? And I relied a lot on traction marketing. I had this big fear of being that super sharky, annoying Beachbody coach that like attacked everyone who was already on a fitness journey. And so I let these things kind of hold me back from doing certain activities that I should have been doing, like inviting and like doing some of the fundamental activities. And so I went super proactive as far as promoting my challenge groups and doing things where people were coming to me. Well, then all of a sudden they weren't coming as frequently. And I was like, okay, I gotta take a step back and I gotta figure out how I can adjust what I'm doing to continue to help the amount of people I want to help, to continue to hit the goals that we have as a team, and continue to just live a life of purpose and what I wanted to do with the business. And so I was able to fine-tune the fundamentals and really get back to what was going to work moving forward. So we had our leadership retreat back in September, and these are just a couple of my cute girls. And I was talking with them, and I was saying, hey, how's your business going? Where are you at? What are your goals? How do you feel? And there was kind of this reoccurring theme of, well, I'm still putting in the work, I'm still showing up every day, but I'm not gaining momentum. I'm not bringing in the amount of challenges they want to do. They weren't hitting the goals they had. And so then we had to look at what they were doing. And lots of them, like it happens frequently, were taking on more, mentoring their coaches, making cuter graphics, finding content for their challenge groups, and doing all these things. And I'm like, okay, when's the last time you sat down and like legitimately did a power hour where you tracked it, where you expanded your network, where you did some invites, and they were like, oh, geez, like months. And I was like, okay, so that's probably why you're feeling this. And then I was chatting with other coaches just throughout the year, new coaches, veteran coaches, and it was always the same thing. If they felt a slump in their business, they weren't doing the stuff. And so I was on a live call with a Diamond Dash, and we were just doing a Q&A. And I'm very honest, I'm very just kind of forthright with my coaches. And for whatever reason, someone asked something, and I was just telling them to stop getting distracted by everything that was going on, stop doubting, stop taking time to do all this fluffy stuff, and to just do your crap. And so that became our team hashtag. And it's like well known now. Like if they ever come to me and they're like, Micah, oh, never mind, I just gotta do my crap. I just gotta do my crap. And I'm like, yeah, you're good, you do. And so we're gonna kind of dig into what your crap is. But first, yeah, right? But first, I want you guys to realize that it doesn't matter the activities you're doing. It doesn't matter the behaviors that you do and the actions that you take if your mindset is not in the right place. So if you're not in a place of belief and confidence and just really feeling passionate about what you do, it doesn't matter the conversations you have. And it doesn't matter what you show up to track every single day. Because it's gonna come through in your conversations, it's gonna come through in your posts, it's gonna come through, just like Chris was talking about, that is contagious, how you feel. So that's the first thing that you guys always have to control, is control your energy, control your mindset. When things were shifting, when volumes dipped, just when things were changing, I never once was like, shoot, is this gonna be a good idea? Like, I'm seeing a massive volume drop. Clearly, this is not a good idea. Like, no. I was like, okay, I believe in corporate. I believe in the mission. They're way smarter than me, so I'm going to figure out how I'm going to make this work for my business. And that, I think, is something that, like, I don't even go to the round table very often because it's so hard for me to watch those posts where people are complaining and just being down. And I'm like, dude, just get to work. Like, believe in what we do and just get to work. Because we're going to shift. There's going to be changes. But in a down year, we're still able to build a 7-figure-a-year business in year 4. So it's not broken. What we do is not broken, but we have to innovate. So this is what I've done. This is your crap, okay? So, we have the vital process. This works. And it works really well with your warm market particularly, okay? So I'm not gonna train you on what the vital process is. We're all leaders, we all know what it is. But really quickly, we get clients, we get results, we convert them to coach, we develop leaders. That's the gist of it. But then what happens when you stop getting the clients? That's what I ran into. I was like, well, I'm not getting the challengers. They're not coming anymore. Like, what do I do now? And so the crap is the stuff that happens and that is absolutely essential before the vital process. And it's the funnel that keeps everything flowing so that the vital process can work, okay? So, the steps to doing your crap. First, we have got to show up and share our journey every single day, all the time. Obviously, not a 6-pack right now. but I still show up and work out every single day. I still share my journey. I still share everything. It's part of life. So if you are trying to build your business and you're not at least doing this core fundamental thing, how are people going to trust you? How do you have credibility? How are they going to know to come to you or to take you seriously when you say, hey, I'm doing this, I want to help you? Well, you're not even doing it, okay? So always number one. Number two is intentionally expanding your network. Now, this is the thing that I had to get super proactive about because I had kind of gotten to the point where I was relying on Facebook ads, I was relying on free groups, and just relying on certain things that I was doing to bring in new people, but they weren't always my people. They weren't always people who I wanted to be connecting with and I wanted to be working with. And just like they talked about on the panel earlier when Ivy was talking about the difference between sponsoring and recruiting, this, intentionally expanding your network, we're recruiting, we're finding people who we want to hang out with every single day in our challenge groups, in our teams, just locking arms with and doing this together. We get to find those people. So I got super proactive about utilizing Instagram and really digging into just going out there to find new people to talk to. Which brings me to number three, which is genuinely then connecting with people. And this is something that I didn't do for the first couple years of my business because I was putting my posts out there, I was interacting with the people who were interacting with me, but I always told people, and I sound like such a biddy, but I was like, I don't have time to hey girl message, I don't like to back and forth chat. I don't like to do that, I don't have time. But then, as I started to intentionally expand my network, I actually loved chatting with these new people. I love connecting with people from all over and getting to know them and getting to know who they are and getting to know where they've traveled and getting to know just different people. And that brought so much joy and fulfillment back into my business, where it wasn't about, okay, I'm gonna talk to this girl because I want her to get in my challenge group. It was with no agenda whatsoever. No Beachbody, nothing Beachbody ever comes up until they bring it up or until I see the need to invite them to fill a void or to solve a problem that they've brought up, okay? So just connecting with humans again and just being people focused. That's something that's been a common theme throughout the whole weekend is just focusing on people and understanding that we have something that can truly change lives, but only if we're interested and invested in them first, okay? And then we have to make sure that we're continuing to promote our challenge groups, promote our sneak peeks, personally invite behind the scenes, because what I found is even after 4.5 years, where I would assume people just know I'm a coach, they know I love what I do, they know I help people, they know our team is having success, they know, but they don't. They don't. I'm no different from Sarah, who is an Emerald coach, to the outside world. Do you guys get that? So that's why it's so important that we're, as leaders, still taking the initiative to reach out our hand and say, hey, I'm doing this, I would love to work with you, do you want to join me on the journey? Because they don't see that I'm a 15, double star 15, like they don't care, who cares? I'm just like Sarah. And if I'm not willing to help them and to reach out, then they're not gonna come to me. And I want to continue to help new people, okay? So that is the crap. That then makes sure that you always have people to get into your challenge groups, to help get results, to help empower to coach, and then to develop as leaders. This is the stuff that's easy to do, and it's really easy not to do. And it's just like the compound effect. It takes time. You can stop doing it, and you don't really feel it, and you still have people coming in until you don't. And then it's too late. And then you have to rebuild for a few months. So it's something that if you're starting kind of from square one and you're like, okay, I gotta rebuild, give it time. Understand that it's gonna take time to connect with people. It's gonna take time to find new people, to figure out what your target is, to figure out who you want to surround yourself with, and to really build those solid relationships so that they trust you to join you and to overcome their limiting beliefs and their challenges and get on this life-changing journey with you, okay? So then, as leaders, how do we do it all? Because that's a lot, right? You're like, okay, well now I have to do all this new stuff, all this crap that I haven't been doing for a couple years because I've been doing leadership stuff. So how do I do it all? Because we didn't sign up to coach because we want to be tied to our business. So we have to get smart. We have to work smarter, not harder. We have to master the mundane. So this stuff that I talked about, this is the stuff that moves the needle forward. Yes, trainings are awesome. Systems are essential. Graphics set you apart. Those things are great. But if you're sitting at the 15th of the month, still at Success Club Zero, making a dang cute graphic isn't going to help you hit your goals, okay? Same goes with your coaches. If they're feeling frustrated, we need to help them get back to the fundamentals that are gonna move their business forward. The what doesn't change, the how does. So what grows a successful business isn't gonna change. We have to connect with people. We have to bring in new people all the time so that they're seeing what we're doing so that we can invite them. We have to help people get results. We have to empower them. We have to help them be successful in the business. How that happens evolves. So it looks different how I do things now than how I did it day one, sure. But it's all the same. So if you're a people person and you're like, well, I don't want to do the Instagram thing, that's fine. But it's just kind of like PD. The concept is the same. You just have to figure out how to make it work for you and for your style, okay? And then work in your zone of genius and delegate the rest. So I'm a super control freak, and I had a hard time delegating anything for the first few years of my business. I was like, no one can do this as good as I can, so I can't afford to give anything away. I can't do it. It'll screw everything up. And then I was going crazy, and I was like, I can't handle this. So now, my biggest passion in the business is connecting with people, getting them started on their journey, really seeing them through, and also mentoring my coaches. Fills me up to see my coaches have success and to grow as humans. And so I have delegated some Instagram stuff. I've delegated, obviously I have a virtual assistant. You guys all know the drill with that. And then I finally gave in and I got a nanny and a housekeeper. And it was the best thing I ever did. I had mom guilt forever because I'm like, I always said I want to be a wife and mom. I want to be home with my kids. I want to do that. But I wasn't being the best wife and mom I could be because I was trying to do everything. So as soon as I got a nanny, cute nanny girl that comes in, if you've seen my journey, I have a 2-year-old, he's crazy. And so she comes in each day, plays with him, entertains him, cleans, does laundry, all the stuff I hate, she does it. And then when she leaves at 1 o'clock, I've been able to mentor my team, have scheduled calls, do all the stuff that I need to do that fulfills me and that fills me up. And then I can be a mom, and I can be sane, and I can be happy, and I don't feel like I have to be working all the time and trying to fit it in here and there. So that's what works for me. So you need to figure out what works for you. How can you do this and do everything that you need to do in your business and still have your sanity and your balance and everything? Because it is possible, I promise. And it's gonna look a little bit different for everyone. Okay, so really quick, I want you guys to ask yourselves, do you have new prospects entering your funnel every single day? Do you spend intentional time connecting with them? Are you sharing your journey through your posts? Do you have a system in place that streamlines those mundane activities? And are you delegating tasks outside of your zone of genius? If you are doing these things, I promise you, you will continue to create momentum. You'll continue to see growth. You'll continue to have new people that are coming into your business. And I'm sorry, but without new people, we don't really have much of a business. We have to continue to help new people if we want to keep moving forward. So wrapping up, all I gotta say is to keep pedaling, doing the basic stuff that maybe we've gotten away from, and to hashtag do your crap. Okay? Thanks, guys.